Hey, head coach CVCS Baseball, Clemente Bonilla here, and we are the CVCS Baseball Podcast. Super excited for our episode 8 featuring a couple stud alumni that were here in 2022 and 2023 respectively. Our 2022 grad, Johnny Tewinkle at Biola. Hey, Abe.
What's up? My name's Johnny Tewinkle. I graduated in 2022 and I actually just transferred to Biola. I was at Colorado Christian for a little bit, but yeah, very excited to be on here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here. And our 2023 grad coming in from Colorado State, Pueblo, Logan Kelly.
Thank you, Josh. I just finished up my first year up at Colorado State Pueblo. Had a lot of fun. Definitely excited to be back, and thank you for having me on.
Yeah, I can't wait to get into all kinds of fun CVCS stories and things like that. But let's just talk more about the now. I want to hear. We'll go with Johnny first. You're at Biola University. You just finished up your first fall there, and this is your junior campaign. How did Colorado Christian University experience go for you, and how did that help prepare you for Porterling 2, which is probably considered a little bit stronger conference and a stronger school here at Biola?
Yeah. So I first of all loved CCU. It was great coaching staff, great guys out there. I went out there my freshman year, had a solid, kind of a solid fall, and then ended up having to earn my spot in the spring. Had opportunity, kind of took off with it for a little bit, and then kind of fell off. So that was kind of end of my freshman year. But I went in my sophomore year, really excited. Had a spot for me. Kind of struggled in the fall, but won it back during the spring, and ended up having a pretty good breakout sophomore year. Batted over 360 with 9 home runs, so it was pretty fun. But I think it was just like the level of play. Like it was definitely a fun experience to be out there, but especially with the cold and everything. The level of play, I feel like, I think a lot of people can agree, like California Pac West baseball, even though it's D2, it definitely is like a higher pace of play and definitely more exposure too. That's one thing I looked into. It's hard to get any really exposure out in Colorado. But yeah, out here there's definitely a lot more exposure, and I obviously want to play this game as long as I can at the highest level. So
yeah, and Pac West Division II, it's considered arguably the strongest Division II conference in the country.
Yep. And
then Logan, how you this is just your second fall now, but your freshman campaign, how did that go for you?
It was a lot of fun. I came in. I did pretty good for a freshman, I'd say. I was probably the top hitter in my class, and then got to the spring, had to slowly work my way in, and then started picking up, and then started to get rolling a little bit, and then kind of hit the mid-season lull, and then stopped playing as much, but was definitely still in the mix, and just got off this fall, and a little rough fall, but definitely excited to get back for the spring, and we got a lot of depth, so I'm liking our chances for this year.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah.
And you guys, thanks again for being on this podcast. A lot of the reason why I do this is not just to catch up with you guys, which is always fun to get together and catch up, but also so that the current players can take little, pieces, some advice, some things that they could pick up from listening to, basically guys who have a little bit more life experience now. And I know, you guys played for me, and not that you didn't trust the experience that I had and the things I was telling you, but it also is one of those things where you just don't totally know until you get there, right? And so now that you guys are in the know, you can kind of share. You're another voice that can come alongside and just, the coaching staff and just be like, hey, like this is the real thing. Like fall baseball in college is just a different animal than it is in fall baseball in high school. Although I try to create some intense moments, and we do have the steak and beans and things like that. But the way that you guys fight for a job in the fall and just try to, especially when you're freshmen, it's just trying to like navigate the whole new lifestyle of being away from home and keeping your grades up and all that good stuff. What would you guys say to some of the high school kids now that are trying to get to that next level? What are some things that you think really worked for you to help you get there? And what is maybe something that if you could do it over again, you might have done a little bit differently?
I would say first off, and I think this is a big thing that's going on with a lot of people, is don't restrict yourself to only playing Division I or JUCO baseball. you're going to play at a high level in any division, and you have opportunity to go anywhere out of any division. So I think that was the biggest thing, is just be open to a lot of things. Because I mean, even Brian Raw, like, he went to a Division III and then ended up getting to play professionally. So that's the biggest thing coming out of high school and looking at your options. But yeah, once you get into your first fall and everything, I think what I struggled with is I let it get too big, let the moment get too big. I tried so hard to like prove myself again to a new coaching staff and everything. And I'd say to like an incoming freshman, it's a game. It's what you've played your whole life, and I wouldn't try to make it any different. Just go out there and have fun, and good things will happen. But yeah.
That's awesome. And that's such a great point. I love that you brought that up about whatever NCAA division you can play at, and you can go anywhere from it. I remember watching the Super Regionals, I think it was just last year, and UConn was in it, and they had 3 hitters who were hitting like in the first 6 hitters in their lineup. 3 of them who had monster years, they were seniors, were all Division III All-Americans that had portaled to Division I UConn, and then all of a sudden found themselves in a super regional trying to battle the World Series for Division I. That was pretty crazy. What about you, Logan? Same question. Just one thing that you felt you did really well to help you get there, and one thing you could wish you kind of do over again.
I think one of the biggest things for me was just trusting you. I try to trust you as much as I can, and like you said, there is a lot of the you don't know until you're there. So for that part, like I try to, whatever you told me about how college was going to be, I try to just let it play in my head and think about how it would go. And you were right. It is super similar, although the fall is a lot more competitive. I think one of the biggest things that I learned very quickly was how to start managing my time more.
Nice.
Not only for just baseball, though, but like my entire life, just been getting a lot more organized, and it's been helping me a lot.
Those are both great points. And you guys were really good students when you were here at CVCS.
Yeah.
How has that been from the academic standpoint? I totally missed that one with the last podcast. I probably should have asked Hayden and Andrew about that. But you guys specifically, I remember, were very high GPA guys that took school pretty serious, or at least came very easy to you to make A's in school. Has that been the same case for you guys at the college level?
I think the biggest thing is like you're on your own. So it's not like you're at home. Like if you do go out of state, you're not at home. You don't have people telling you what to do. So you could really do whatever you want. But as long as you keep your time, like keep your focus straight on what you need to do, it's pretty similar to high school, I'd say. I mean, there's definitely like a lot of cases that I've seen or heard of that like they get out and they're on their own living by themselves and everything, and they end up kind of slacking in one way. But as long as you keep your priorities straight, it's pretty simple, and you have so many resources to help you out also, whether it's older guys or faculty and stuff. So
that's cool. And being an athletic part of the athletic teams that represent the school, do they provide you with some extra opportunities if you need? Yeah,
I mean, I went to a super small school, and we had all the opportunities we needed. We had all the teachers supported us in whatever way we needed to. So that's I think you really have to slack off pretty hard to fall behind. But as long as you just keep your priorities straight, it's pretty simple.
Okay. And then you mentioned time management, Logan. Has that been a factor in keeping your grades up?
Yeah, absolutely. When I first got to college and first got the taste of freedom, I definitely let my grades slack a little bit. But I had coaches around me, and they were all super good, and they helped me get back on track, and then ended up passing classes. And then that's when I started to get the time management more in check. And then from there, it's just been easy for the grades so far. But obviously I just finished my gen ed, so I do now have to go to the major specific classes. So those are definitely going to get harder.
Okay. That's going to be fun times.
Oh, absolutely.
So both of your programs that you're at now, I have some personal relationships with the coaches. Not as much with Biola, although I'm growing in my relationship with him. Although he is really close with Marcus Choi, our new head of schools here. I don't know if Johnny had a chance to meet Marcus Choi yet, but he's been our head of schools. This is his second year. So last year in the 2024 school year, and then this is going to be the 2025 grad school year. And they met each other from years ago when Mr. Marcus Choi was pastoring a church, and Coach was part of that congregation. And so I got a personal introduction through them and kind of was able to grow a relationship there. And just really glad that you're with somebody, one of the best baseball people. I mean, just great guys, like a genuine guy. And then Bobby Applegate, I've known for almost 20 years, and he is just a stud of a guy too. Great baseball mind. He's been all over the country. Just how has it been to be around such great baseball minds and just great people in general? How have you responded to the way that they approach the game? And is that something that you've been feeding off? How do your teammates feed off of that? Just, tell me a little bit about that. And also just the greater staff, because I don't know everybody.
Yeah. So, we have Coach Jesse Rogers, our head coach. He's newer to Biola, but he's a really awesome guy. Took me under his wing as soon as I got there and gave me an opportunity, obviously, to play with him. The coaching staff's great. Coach Raj, and then we have hitting coach, Coach Mo, awesome guy. He's so bought into the entire program. He wants all of us to succeed. He's a selfless guy, and I think that's something that's very important as a hitting coach. And then our pitching coach is Coach Q, another super awesome guy. I haven't had much time to pick apart his brain because I'm not pitching no more, but awesome guy too. And then we have a grad assistant, Kumai, another awesome guy. He actually played at Biola last year, and he came back. And so having that, having a guy that's been through it and seeing what the program's all about and having that there to pick apart his brain has been awesome too. But Biola's the coaching staff has been everything I hoped for, and definitely excited to go into spring with them.
That's cool. And then you mentioned too, I know you were also a great two-way for us. Was our closer your last couple of years, and then you did pitch at CCU a good amount. And then it's funny how like the game just kind of always eventually tells you one way or the other what to do, and you just pick it up and you run with it. And I've always thought offensively, you had such power, natural, easy pop. And so it's cool that, that you have that experience of pitching, and it'll help you just overall know the game better because you did it. But it's just neat how the game has now told you, hey, swing the bat. We were just with earlier this morning doing some workout. Luke Powell, who was a 2020 graduate, I thought he was one of our best natural hitters that we had, and had a really good career hitting for the first few years of his college career. And then now he's signed with the independent minor leagues to pitch. Yep. So it just shows you, even though, you just never know, and you got to be able to adapt and pivot as you are maneuvering this game. But Logan, tell me a little bit about Coach Applegate and the staff over there.
Oh, the staff is absolutely amazing. They love us to death. Applegate he can be very intimidating, I'd say. He's got a big...
Well, he's a big man.
He's a big man. He is a
strong big man.
Yeah, he's a big man. Very, very intelligent in the game of baseball as well. So I try to pick his mind a lot, but at the same time, sometimes he ain't the best to talk to, but...
he looks like he could put his whole hand around your head.
Oh my, yeah.
And if he wanted to, just squeeze it and just...
Yeah. No, they're like...
He's a strong individual.
Yeah, big, strong individual. You could tell with the umpires, like, they are scared of him. Like,
that's awesome.
It's so funny. But the rest of the coaching staff is also great. I got Steve Saratori, our hitting coach. He absolutely loves us. He's always trying to help us get better. Always lets us know he's there to throw. And then we got a new pitching coach this year. His name's Jared Morton. He's a UCR alum. So pretty local. I think he said his sister lives in San Juan. So very local. Great guy. I'm getting to know him more and more, but very great guy. Great taste in music too, which is very lovely. You'd be surprised. It is lovely. But yeah, no, the whole staff just loves us and supports us to death. So
since we just ran into a music theme, what kind of music are you guys listening to during batting practice?
Oh, so many different kinds. We call him J-Mo. He usually gets control of the aux this fall, and it's been country, it's been reggae, it's been a little bit of clean rap. It's just how everyone's feeling.
All right, so you guys just vibe out to something different every day. How about you guys?
So in Colorado, it was strictly country, and I'm not a fan of country. So
100% country.
Oh, it was like.
Did that play a part into your decision to?
It might have. It was every single day, like the same playlist. But I'm a big reggae guy, and coming back home, I mean, obviously, coastal, like it's just all reggae at the field, and I love that. We'll mix in a little bit of EDM too in the weight room and everything, and rap. But
Can't go wrong with that.
yeah, I personally don't think there's anything else to just swing and to hang out with the boys with other than reggae. I think reggae is just
That's cool.
Yeah.
So if you personally were gonna go like to lift in the weight room right now, what would you said reggae, but like specifically, what would you think you would start with?
oh.
Are you going like Bob Marley reggae or?
So, yeah, actually on my Apple Music Wrapped, it was all my top 10 artists were all reggae, but
Really?
I'd probably put on like maybe like a Bob Marley Natural Mystic. That's a good one.
Okay.
Or I mean, there's a lot of Hawaiian reggae that I've gone into from
Yeah,
somewhere.
Hawaiian reggae is cool.
Yeah.
And then Logan, did you have a walk up song last year?
My walk-up song last year was Up, Up, and Away by Kid Cudi.
Okay.
It was just kind of like, it was a calming, uplifting beat to start off the song. That's where I wanted that to be what I was, as the first thing I hear when I step into the box.
As you phrased earlier, lovely.
Yeah.
Like it's a lovely melody.
Yeah, it's just some to just keep your mind calm right before you get into the box and go to war. But I don't even know what the first song I'd say is. I'd probably just shuffle my every song I have, because I honestly don't think that I think any song could be played at any time, really. But
Yeah, the other day I was throwing BP and we were listening to Christmas, traditional Christmas
Big
music.
fan of Chris.
Yeah, Christmas music works. It only works this time of the year to hit with.
definitely.
no,
But,
absolutely.
so you guys got to face each other. CCU and Colorado State Pueblo are in what is the conference?
RMAC.
And so they're in the same conference in the RMAC, and you guys got to face each other multiple times. How many?
5 games.
Five
games.
No, because we played 3. Yeah. No, yeah, it was 5 games.
Okay, 5 games. So who won the 5-game set?
I think they won a lot of them.
We lost one time.
So 4-1.
Yeah.
Okay.
4-1.
And then individually, why don't you tell me about the other persons? Like, what do you remember that stands out?
Okay, well, first off, I think both of us, those were like some of our best weekends that we played, actually. I remember, I think Logan hit 2 home runs off of us.
Wow.
I think
Is it?
it was 2, because you let out, it was like your first 2 at bats of each, the
I
first.
think it was just 1.
Okay, well, yeah.
But
Maybe I
you're
could
just
drop
wild.
him. Yeah.
Yeah.
He definitely hit well. I thought after that series for sure he'd be their guy, and he was for the few series after that at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was definitely like, although the team to team, it wasn't as competitive. Definitely, there's competition going on between us for sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. And then what do you remember about Johnny?
I remember he was by far one of their best players, and I let everyone know, I was like, hey, this guy's gonna be one of their best. Just know it. And then it was one of the first games we played. You absolutely smoke a ball down the line that I thought was gonna go out, and ended up getting robbed by our left fielder. And to me, that was just it was the first time I'd seen a robbed home run in so long. I could not believe it, especially it was Johnny hitting the ball. And
I'm glad it wasn't you.
yeah.
I would have been kind of awesome, but kind of not. I don't know. If it would have been you that robbed him, I almost would be like, why'd you do that?
It would have been crazy. No, yeah. And then back at our field, I remember Johnny just absolutely put his team on his back that weekend, and he was just lighting up the field, and it seemed like we could barely get him out.
Oh, how fun is that? So is there a sense of pride? Even though you obviously want your team to win, is there a sense of pride that, hey, that's my boy from CVC, and I'm kind of glad he's dropping some barrels?
Yeah, I let them know that too. I would never really root against someone like that. So yeah.
Do you guys give scouting reports on each other? You're like, hey,
Yeah. I was giving scouting report.
you're like, Kelly has a hard time with a breaking ball. Just go ahead, just throw him.
Actually hit. I think the home run he hit was a breaking ball.
Oh, he made adjustments.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, he was a lefty, right? Who grooved me a curveball and just hit it. But I remember Johnny ended up warming up at one point in the last game, and I thought he was going to go in. Didn't end up going in, but I started giving everyone the scouting report on Johnny. I was telling coaches, I was like, hey, if he comes in, I was like, we'll be good.
You're super hittable.
I was
Fastball straight.
I was like, he competes, and I was like, I think it'll be a fun.
That's hilarious.
Fun to watch.
Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, one of Johnny's greatest attributes was his breaking ball.
Yeah.
And what I hear is that thin air really flattens out the breaking ball up there.
Yeah. Had to pick up some new pitches for sure.
That's so funny. But speaking of adjustments, and we talked a little bit about your guys' coaching staffs and the hitting guys. Like, so what are some things that now that you've been college hitters for, more than a year, 3 years, what are some kind of tips that you can give to the guys listening, or drills, hitting with a purpose, things that you've picked up, I don't know, tells, just approach, just anything that you feel like, hey, I'm a little bit smarter hitter now than I was at CVCS because I've learned some things. Like, what, you have anything like that?
Yeah. So I'm going to start off with, you guys definitely need to learn how to handle an outside fastball, because that's what, any good college arm will definitely set that as a standard. So be comfortable in your swing and in your approach to hit the other way.
Mm-hmm.
Be comfortable to not just open up and go pull side. But I think one thing that you have a lot of resources also with a thing called Synergy that a lot of teams use. You could see past like who you're facing, everything, what their pitch sequence is like. But I think the biggest thing that I learned is sequencing. Like, I found myself a lot of the times last year, especially when you're in a hot streak, like, you almost know what they're going to throw you. Like, if you hammered a breaking ball the bat before and it seemed like you could handle it in general, you're most likely not going to get that again. So I think being smart enough to just wash your last at bat and focus on, like, okay, based off my last at bat, what's going to go in this next one. I think that's the biggest thing that I've learned. And just being comfortable. It's people freak out. It's like, oh, you're in college and everything, but it's the same. You have the same goal as you did in high school. You just want to put bat on ball and hit it hard. So it's really not much different. It's just a little bit with your mindset and how you're going to pick apart the pitcher and what's going to come at you.
Would you say that the arms, although now that you're in college, I'm sure the amount of arms that you see on a regular basis are probably a little more dynamic, but being from CVCS and the schedule that we were playing, we saw some pretty good arms here in high school. So did you feel like that it's basically similar to that, except just more often? You see them more often?
Yeah, it's a lot of just more often of harder throwing guys and a lot of crafty guys too. In Colorado specifically, there's a lot of crafty guys.
Okay.
Yeah. A lot of less hard throwing guys. You'll run into a low to mid 9s every once in a while, but it's a lot of like mid to high 8s crafty. But from what I've seen out here in the Pac West, it's a lot more hard throwing guys.
Okay.
I know, like HPU, for example, Hawaii Pacific, they have a guy that's up to 97 and a few guys that are low 9s. So but yeah, it's a lot of the same that we faced out here. California baseball is California baseball, and it's always going to be tough. But yeah.
That's good. That's good to know. Logan, what about you?
I think there is, what Johnny said is definitely true. I definitely have seen, like, high school compared to college. I felt like there was no pitcher that I just blatantly have, like, never seen something like it before. Like, every pitcher I faced, I felt like there's just something I can pick up on them that will help me in the at bat against them. And those just all things that I learned from high school, from you and Josue teaching me. And I think there is definitely a lot more crafty guys though out in Colorado compared to like California, because it's just warmer weather. Like, we had a guy who he hit 97 against Air Force in the fall, and then in the spring he never even touched like a 94. So I think that's just something like you don't really think about compared to here in California, because the weather is always nice. So everyone's usually throwing, like, their bodies are just naturally warmer out in Colorado. So there's definitely a change for me seeing that.
Do you guys think that's made you a little tougher mentally, having to play in colder climates? Like, even though you're coming back to California.
Yeah, for sure. It was a grind every single day. There'd be days. Well, I think we definitely got more snow out in Denver than they do because we're higher up. But we're a mile up, in elevation, and there'd be days like, we have a series Saturday, Sunday, and Thursday night dumps like 2 feet of snow. We got to go to the field Friday morning and shovel it all off. So it's other like, and then playing like, oh, it's just,
Yeah.
it's so cold. I mean, you got I'd put hand warmers in my cleats to
It's
keep my feet warm.
huge. Yeah. We all share that experience. Not that the greater St. Louis area is as cold as Denver, but it has its moments too. I mean, when you grow up in California, you don't even know what wind chill is. I never ever checked the wind chill, and then every day I'm checking wind chill.
Yeah.
And I really learned after that first few series of freshman year that if I can't keep my feet warm, I'm never gonna succeed.
Yeah.
Because I would still like I'd wear multiple sleeves or those thin legging things that make your legs warm or whatever. And I would just still put on my regular socks, and then my feet were just frozen, right? And then I was like, I have to wear like 3 pairs of socks. It's actually more important to keep your hands and feet warm than it is like this chest area, and your thighs and stuff. It's funny, but it does make you tougher.
Yeah.
And you never know when you're gonna be able to just kind of recall that experience and help you in a situation that maybe doesn't even have to do with weather, but just has to do with being a little tougher. Yeah. And would you guys say that like that applies to hitting? I think one thing that made me a better hitter as I went through my Missouri experiences and then moving on was that you can complain to your mind. Like you can whine and complain and say it's too cold. I can't hit. It's too cold.
Yeah.
Or you just have to learn to shrug your shoulders and be like, I don't care if it's wind chill -5. Like I need to barrel this ball. Like period.
Yeah.
And I once I got over that, I was like, I don't care. Everyone has to deal with it. So I need to barrel the ball better than these next guys. Like I gotta, if I want to play pro ball, I gotta barrel balls, and if it's -5, that's just is what it is. But like you gotta just get over it, right? And most people, when they struggle hitting, I've learned, and tell me if you guys think, now that you've had some college experience, I think that mechanics is usually lesser of the evil when it comes to going into slumps and not hitting well. I think a lot of it usually is mental, and I think it has to do with, are you on time? Like, are you getting your foot down? Are you ready to be on time? And then we all practice swinging to hit strikes. Like we design our swings to hit strikes. Nobody that I know is putting the tee 3 inches off the ground and 8 inches outside and working on that. Like it just isn't. Like we're trying to hit strikes, even if it's outside. Like we're working on outside, but we're working on outside strikes. Like, and so the question is, are you on time and are you swinging at strikes? Because if you start swinging out of the zone, I don't care how good mechanically your swing is, you're going to struggle.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about that?
I think I mean in Colorado and I haven't as much experience out here, but you see some ugly mechanics that just work, and it has nothing to do with like them just being lucky. It's the mindset, and I think that's the biggest jump that I noticed is the mindset in college has to be different because the people you face, they know who you are, they know what you like, they have exact zones of what you hit the best and all that. And you just have to be willing to just battle up there. I mean, definitely my freshman fall, I struggled with that a little bit. I was striking out a bunch, and even this last fall. But once I was able to just like flip the switch and realize that like, that you just have to go in with the mindset like you're not going to get me out. I'm going to stay in there. And I remember my freshman year, what earned me a starting spot for a section of the years. I had in one of my first college game I played, like my third at bat. I had an at bat that went like 15 pitches, and I just refused to get down. And I finally got a barrel on the ball, got a single, and it was my first college hit. And then that was like the changing point for me, where it's like, okay, it's not mechanics, it's a mindset, and you just have to be willing to just not let yourself get out.
That's so awesome. And I remember that because your mom texted me that whole about.
Yeah,
it was so cool. Logan, what do you think?
I think you are right. It's just the mindset over everything once you get to college. I definitely found myself struggling a little bit, and then once I got out of that slump and looked back at it, my mechanics weren't even really the issue. My swing looked good. It was just I would just constantly either auto swing or just swing at a ball in the dirt, and just once I got rid of that and then realized like it's in the past, like you kind of flip the switch and you get going. And then obviously like the cold it's like I let it affect me a little bit, but at the same time like I also like I learned to just get past it. Just the wind.
Well, you'll be way better next year. Like we all went through it. Freshman year was tough for sure, But then it got better, right? Sophomore year was easier. It was way easier for me sophomore year.
Yeah.
And then like junior, senior year, I just accepted it. It was just like whatever.
It's
Yeah.
just something and it's like it kind of gets fun in a way. It's like, yeah, it's cold outside, but let's go see what we can do. So.
Yeah.
Our infield coach one time, it was literally like the wind chill was in the 20s. I think it was like 34, 35 degrees, and it was my sophomore year, I believe, and the infield coach was like, we were all in the locker room, and the outfielders and pitchers were doing their own thing in the indoor gym stuff. And my infield coach was like, hey, we could try to take some ground balls here on the turf floor or on the gym, a little patch. Or we can go to the field because it's not snowing. Like, it's just freezing cold. Yeah. But it's still dry enough. And he's like, we'll probably be the only college in the Midwest right now taking ground balls. And he was like, you could just wear whatever you want. You don't have to wear like a Southeast, anything. You can just wear whatever. Just stay warm. And we were all like, let's do it. And I remember there was like 6 of us that went out there, and coach was hitting us fungos. And I was wearing like, I looked like the Christmas Story movie. Like, I had so much clothes on that I had like no range, but it was just hilarious. And it was so fun. I don't even know if that was probably mechanically a good thing for us, because we had so much clothes on, we couldn't even get our like chest over our knees or anything. But it was so fun. Yeah. And that group of us, we ended up being one of the best Southeast teams of all time, going to the regionals and all that. You've heard those stories. But I think that creating those fun experiences and also toughening it, like when you say something like there's not another college in the whole country or the whole Midwest that's taking grounders in negative or whatever, wind chill of 22 degrees, like you're just like, hey, I'm doing something that's getting me tougher and better than my competition. Yeah. Man, this is so fun. I want to get into CVC stuff now, but that was really great sharing a little bit of those college experiences. How about we start with Johnny? Just what do you remember as your first varsity like experience? Like whether that was an at bat or a defense. Like when did you have your first varsity appearance?
So my first in-season varsity appearance was my freshman year, and I had a really good freshman year on the freshman team. And towards the end of the year, you pulled me aside and said that I don't remember what day it was or anything, but that I'd be going with the varsity team to go play Sage Hill. And I got my first at-bat, first playing time there. I remember my first at-bat. I lined out to left center. They made a diving cut.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that was my first experience. And then after that, it was just took off. So
I remember in your freshman campaign, I put you in a playoff game, right, for defense?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you were playing outfield for an inning or two.
It was the first round. Yeah, our first round.
That's
yeah.
cool.
Yep.
And then you pretty much hit the ground running sophomore year.
Yeah.
And then for you, Logan, do you remember your first varsity appearance?
Yeah, it was my sophomore year. I remember I was just walking. It felt like a normal day. Varsity had a game. I think JV was just like practicing, and I remember I was going to chapel, and you kind of cut me off from everyone else and told me like, "Hey, you're playing with varsity today," and I honestly thought you were like messing with me at first. And I just sat through chapel, like I couldn't really believe it yet, just because like it was so sudden, and it caught me so off guard. And then I remember it was who we were playing. It was Crean Lutheran. We were playing Crean Lutheran, and I ended up getting in towards the end of the game, and I got walked on like 4 or 5 pitches, and that was kind of it for a while. I remember my varsity appearance, but it was like it's just a crazy day. Like,
okay,
did not feel real.
That's cool. I will mess with guys on certain things, but I don't think ever in my 19 years if I ever messed with a guy like, hey, you're coming to varsity today, and then just kidding. That's messed up. I would not do that. That would be so messed up. I'd be like telling a guy he's going to go to the big leagues and then just be like, oh, just kidding. You're still in AA. Oh, yeah, you're cut. That's brutal. No, but that's funny. That's a good story. So then what about, let's move past that first varsity experience to when you felt that you were, like you've solidified yourself, like you are now one of our dudes on varsity. When did that occur?
Well, I had like a good start to my sophomore year in varsity and then kind of fell off, and then COVID hit. So I didn't really have a full sophomore campaign, but junior year for sure. I remember I kind of went into my junior year like, I don't know how hitting's going to go. I don't know if I'm going to like if I'm going to even get an opportunity to hit as much, but I just remember pitching, I was like dialed in. I mean, that was the hardest I've thrown. the best I was throwing. I remember against San Clemente, I went like 3 or 4 scoreless into extra innings, and we ended up winning the game.
I remember that.
But yeah, after that, I like knew at that point I was like, okay, pitching's legit. Like I'm gonna be a pitcher here. But then it was a few games later, I hit my first home run. I think it was against Troy High School or something at Hausdorfer, and then it just took off. And I was like, okay, this is it. Like this is my spot to lose. And I don't remember ever looking back after that. And then into my senior year, I think junior year was like a solid like little breakout year. And then my senior year, I mean, I ended up batting over 400 and hitting a few home runs. So, yeah, it was definitely junior year is when I knew I was like, okay, this is my spot. And
That's cool.
I can't lose it. Yeah.
And Logan, do you remember?
Yeah, I think it was kind of around the same time, just going into my junior year. And I know Johnny was in center because he was older. And then I kind of figured.
He was older, but you were better?
He was older. Honestly, I didn't think I was ever better than him. I thought we were about the same, and I always knew Johnny was just a little bit better than me. So, I mean, it was just something I had to accept and just kind of understand my role, that I was going to right field. But, I mean, once, like, after sophomore year, and then you were, like, you kind of done pitching, I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. Like, I'll just go to the outfield and go ball out in the outfield. So,
yeah. It's like we talked about earlier. Eventually, the game just kind of tells you,
yeah.
You know, when Logan kept going in and just getting shellacked every outing.
Nah, not every outing. I had one good outing my sophomore year.
Oh, yeah, there you go. I forgot about that. Yeah. No, you know, the one thing you both had awesome first step jumps and reads in the outfield. Like, I remember that. And Johnny wasn't a traditionally like a speedster. He was fast, but not like center field speed, you would say. But his first step jump, like he just caught everything. And then when you eventually took over center field when Johnny left, then I was like, holy cow, like you get the same kind of jumps, but you were also running like a 6.7 60. Yeah. And it was just like you were tracking everything. We were very blessed to have you guys roaming the outfield in those days. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about like your playoff memories. What's something that stands out like in the CIF playoffs?
First thing that jumps out is Hunter Long giving up a walk-off home run.
Oh my God.
Go ahead, home run. My junior year to end our season. But that's no hate to Hunter.
No hate.
I don't know. I feel like my playoff, like personally, I never like had like a crazy game. I just remember crazy games. My junior year, I think it was the first round. No, yeah, it was the first round. Warren.
Oh, second round.
Second round. Warren. That was one of the crazy.
Well, that's
games.
the famous Owen Kurz hitting 2 home runs back to back.
Yeah, and I just remember like the preparation up to that week up to that game was huge, and everyone did good there. That game.
Their pitcher was like going to a big school. I think he was going to UCLA or USC or something, and he was one of the like best pitchers in CIF Southern Section. And we all expected him to be like 91, 93. And we saw like some YouTube videos where it said he was in the 90s. And we prepared for that. And I remember that day he was like 86, 87. And we just like, we barreled him like big time. Yeah, that was fun.
That was a lot of fun.
That game was so much fun.
Yeah. Do you have a fun one? Is it the same one or?
Honestly, I do. Like that game was so much fun. Same with the Arlington, but.
I carried you, right? You were sophomore year, you were at the Warren game, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I ended up getting in for an AB.
Oh, nice.
At the very end, I didn't even think that would happen.
Okay.
But I think the biggest one to me is playing. It was my senior year, the last game.
Aquinas High School.
Aquinas High School. That one was just crazy. That was the longest game.
Did you hear about this game, Johnny?
Yes, I did.
It was a 13 innings.
13 innings.
13 innings. Oh, my gosh.
1-1 going into the top of the 13th.
Yeah.
49 strikeouts combined with both teams.
40.
Yeah. Hunter and Andrew struck out 28 combined, and their pitcher struck out 21 combined.
Yeah. That was ridiculous. I do remember I thought we were going to win, though. I totally, like... I hit that double, the ground double to lead off the inning. I totally thought we had that in the bag.
We definitely, both teams had chances to end it.
Both teams
early and regular.
That one was just a crazy wide open chance.
That was a fun game too. There's just some fun memories for sure. So I'm gonna ask you guys some questions. We're gonna play it like like a contest, right? So if you know the answer, just shout it out right away.
Totally.
And first one, gets the point. If it's a tie, then I'll say it's a tie, and we'll just read it. But if you know it, answer it. You only get one answer too, so don't say an answer. Like Andrew tried to fire off 3 answers in a row. Just say one answer, and then if you get it wrong, then the other guy can take a moment and say the answer.
Wait till you're done asking, and then we answer.
No, you don't. You could fire it off whenever you think you know it, but you get one answer.
Okay.
So don't be if I finish the question and change the whole thing, you're it's too late. Yeah. Okay. So we'll start off with this. And Johnny mentioned as one of his favorite memories, or a memory, no disrespect to Hunter Long.
Yeah.
But we lost in the 2021 quarterfinals at Haasdorfer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What team was it?
Arlington. Yeah, it was.
He said it just great. Okay,
Yeah.
1 point for Logan. 1 point for Logan. Okay. What year was CVCS as a school established?
Oh my. I want to say
You guys have a few seconds and you just have to throw out a number.
1975.
1973.
1973. Wow. Yeah, we had our 50th anniversary last year, 2023.
Oh, yeah, that was I should have known that. That was my senior year.
It was your senior year. Wow. Okay. So, so this will be the 52nd year of existence. So, nice job. So, tie game, 1-1. All right. Here we go. In what year did baseball win its first CIF championship game?
2014.
He got it just a tad.
Yeah.
Johnny got it. That was quick. You guys knew it. 2-1. Okay.
AJ DeCenzo.
Hey, the famous legend.
The legend.
So, staying with that theme, in 2014, baseball wins a CIF championship for the first time. Who was that game against?
Sierra Canyon.
It was Sierra Canyon.
He spends too much time with AJ.
Sierra Canyon is correct.
Yeah, right.
Tied 2-2. Wow, that's a good one. Okay, this is for the championship point. You'll get a free meal at the Eagle Kitchen.
Ooh.
All right, let me make it a good one here. All right. Left center gap at Haasdorfer Field is how many feet?
The deep corner.
Left center gap, what you would consider left center gap.
So right by the.
So just to the right of the scoreboard.
370.
No, it's got to be dude, it's shorter than my school. It's be 330.
It's left center. The deep corner is deep.
I thought when I talk about we're not talking about the corner. We're talking a little more in from that.
Yeah, we're talking the gap.
So
you did dead center.
It feels like 350.
I'm going to say right now that Johnny's incorrect because dead center is 374.
So that's got to be 315. I feel like.
No, because left field dead is 305-ish, I think.
305 is correct. He knows down the line.
35.
These are outfielders, gentlemen that used to roam center.
35.
You're going with 335?
Oh, I want to go again. But
I mean,
final answer?
No. I know 335 isn't right, but I just that's
all right.
the number that keeps popping
both
out.
Incorrect. It was 345, the left center
45.
gap to the left center gap. Okay, well that's right. Still, you're still tied 2-2. Okay. CVCS faculty and staff member longest tenured.
Mr. Easter.
Don Easter.
Yeah, Don Easter.
Don Easter.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. That was really good, and we'll just do a bonus question just for the fun of it.
Okay.
Who is the CFO of the school that runs the business office?
CFO.
It runs the business office?
Chief Financial Officer of the school runs the business office.
Would I know this, or is he newer?
I feel like
They've been here a long time, longer than me. I've been here 19 years.
Dr. Ghana.
No, Dr. Ghana is not the CFO. He's a science teacher.
I thought
it has to be Don Easter.
No, CFO is Chief Financial Officer in the business office.
It doesn't
They do
make
not
sense.
teach.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, I'll give you a hint. Andrew Johnson's related to her.
What's his mom? Oh no, grandma. It's Andrew Johnson's grandma.
It's Andrew Johnson's
Yeah.
grandma.
Because she's in the business.
Barbara
Yeah.
Schaffner.
No,
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, you've never been in the business office. That's probably why. Oh, that's funny. Okay, that was a good one. That was a good one. Well, guys, listen. I'm just so excited that you guys came onto the show. I love to obviously hang out with alumni, but just more importantly, I thank you because you also give the current guys an opportunity just to hear a little bit of your life experience while you're in the thick of college, which I think is just so valuable to these guys. And I love the fact that you guys played your hearts out for me. It wasn't always easy. I know Johnny got some butt chewings a few times from me, but they were from love. And Logan probably got less than Johnny, but at the same time, I just love you guys and that you guys played so hard and we had such great memories together. And I just want you to know that I'm a huge fan of both of you guys, that I'm going to be following your careers. I hope that you guys play this game as well and as long as you can. And anything's possible. Look at Josh Randall, or just went in the third round. And those are guys that, are in our program that are making dreams come true. And I want you guys to know that those dreams can come true, and just keep working and grinding, and who knows, right? Anything's possible. So absolutely. I love you guys, and thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
This episode has been a production of the Capistrano Valley Christian Schools Podcast Network. Capistrano Valley Christian Schools is a Christian JK through 12 school in San Juan Capistrano, California. Be sure to check out, subscribe to, and leave a review of this show and the other shows on our network on your podcast player of choice. Doing so supports the school community in a multitude of ways. For more information about the CVCS Podcast Network or any of our other shows, check out cvcs.org or email podcasts@cvcs.org. On behalf of the whole network, this is Mr. Jasper saying thank you again for listening, and stay tuned for more.